Very good morning and welcome. It's Corporate Governance Platform brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. I am Funmi Omoburiwo. ICSAN is a leading recognized professional body in Nigeria dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. Today on the program, we want to look at relevance of induction program for directors. Our guest this morning is Mrs. GLORIA DADA, ACIS Member Governance Practitioners Committee. Good morning, Mrs. DADA.
Good morning, Fumi.
All right, thank you for joining us on the program this morning.
Thank you for having me on your program.
All right. And also right here, I have in the studio, Mr. Michael Umogun, Deputy Registrar Operations, ICSAN. Good morning, Mr. Umogun.
Good morning for me. Good morning, listeners.
All right. Let's take this message. We'll be right back.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.
Right, as I said earlier, looking at relevance of induction program for directors. All right, Mrs. Dada, let's look at the term induction of directors. What does this connote?
Okay, thank you for me. The term induction of directors refers to specific and planned process of impacting knowledge to new directors coming on board. This is with a view to make them gain understanding into the affairs of the company, their roles, responsibilities as directors. Also, we can just put it basically that it is a structured way of providing new board members with all the information and support they need to be confident and productive in their role within the shortest practicable time.
All right. Now, there's a recommendation of the code that says that new directors, the induction should take place as soon as feasible after their appointment. Why do you think this recommendation is there?
Thank you for me. The reason for this is obvious and self-explanatory. As earlier stated, the main objective of induction is to provide the new director with information relating to the organization, the environment in which it operates, and the role in making the organization a success. So, if we feel the director needs all this knowledge and insight into the company and be aware of what's happening around them, then the earlier the induction happens, the better. Vulnerability to liability is higher for new directors. So the induction process, I believe, if carried out in earnest, will help the new directors hit the ground running. And this will enable them to make the maximum contribution to the company's success within the shortest possible time.
Now, you've talked about the induction of directors, but there is also continuous education of directors. I want you to speak on this.
Okay, like I earlier said though, induction of directors refer to that formal training organized for new directors with the view to equip them with the capacity to function effectively on their jobs as directors. Also, it's a part of the onboarding process in the appointment process. We can put it like it's a one-off exercise. And while we can say continuous education is that training that directors receive on continuous basis with a view to boost their capacity and thereby enhance their efficiency of the job. Let's put it this way also. Continuous education is periodic and it ought to be very relevant so that it can update the knowledge and skills of these directors, to keep them informed of the new developments in the company's business and operating environment. There's this saying that the moment a person stops learning, then that person begins to degenerate, Okay. So long companies companies do not want to be stagnant. They adopt that proactive measure of continuous training of their directors, and I believe they reap the fruits of that inherent benefit. So training is a continuous exercise for every director to remain relevant in the organization.
Now, do you think the costs that would be incurred in training could justify non-adherence to the practice of induction and continuous training of directors?
Attainment of any worthy objective has its own price. So, in all honesty, I don't think the cost of induction and continuous training would outweigh the benefits derivable from such training. The only instance I think that can happen is if the company is doing the induction and the continuous training for doing sake. Say the company is just organizing induction and training for directors simply because the code of corporate governance requires it. But looking at the specific training needs of the directors and the way the training will impact positively, the amount to carry out this training, I don't think it will go down the drain. Okay. What if a company identifies that training need of the director and consensually design the training in such a way to boost the knowledge and skill capacity of the director? Then the benefits accruable from the training, say in terms of enhanced efficiency on the job, it will far outweigh the cost of the training. And let's remember that the vulnerability to liability is higher in case of non-executive directors. So when these trainings are put in place, it will minimize the company's exposure. It's better for a company to pay less for compliance than to use up all its profits to pay a fine.
All right. The code provides that training programs should be at the company's expense, but should not be such that puts undue strain on the company's finances. Now, what would be the guiding principle in attaining equilibrium between these two ends?
Okay, well, the training should ideally be at the company's expense, being the beneficiary of directors' expertise, So the cost of this training should not be excessive in order not to harm the finances of the company. Fine. But at the same time, it should be adequate for that type of company. The guiding equilibrium is to ensure that the amount outlaid for the training can be afforded by the company. And that should be value for money as regards to the quality of the training the directors get. So it all comes back to the company either ways.
Okay, now let's look at also the institute. Does the institute organize induction and continuous training for new and existing directors respectively?
Oh, definitely. The training department of the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria has training on diverse topics on corporate governance, including the induction and continuous training of directors. So this training is of two folds. The first is the periodic training that the department organizes from time to time and invite people to attend. Then the second is the specialized training that is organized for specific companies and organizations that request for it.
All right. Thank you so much, Mrs. Gloria Dada. Thank you for joining us on Corporate Governance Platform this morning.
Thank you, Fumi, for having me on your program.
Thank you. All right, Mr. Omogo, let's take some announcements.
Thank you very much, Fumi. The Thursday, February 10, 2020, is the day for our flagship program, the Corporate Secretaries and Registrars Forum. The theme for this year's program is Sustainability and the Future of Green Economy, a Governance Perspective. This program is basically for our members, non-members, other interested stakeholders, and the general public. Registration is ongoing currently for this program. The relevant details and information about registration can be obtained from our website, which is www.icsan.org, or you can call Florence on 0803 236 9300. That's the annual Companies Secretaries and Registrars Forum 2022. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Michael Umogu, Deputy Registrar Operations. We also say thank you to Mrs. Gloria Dada, ACIS Member Governors Practitioners Committee, who's also our guest on the program this morning, as we've looked at Relevance of Induction program for directors. That's our bit this morning on Corporate Governance Platform, brought to you by the Institute of Chartered Secretaries and Administrators of Nigeria, ICSAN. The program returns again next week, Wednesday, 10:15 a.m., right here on Eco 89.7 FM. I am Fumi Omoburiwu. Enjoy the rest of the day.
The world is constantly evolving into a knowledge-based economy where skills and competencies constitute the lifeblood of public and corporate governance. You therefore need to empower yourself to fit into this new world by gaining basic knowledge and improving your skill set in the governance-focused disciplines. That is why every aspiring as well as practicing professional in governance field needs ICSAN.
ICSAN. What is ICSAN?
ICSAN is a leading statutorily established professional body dedicated to enhancing the status and practice of corporate governance and public administration. ICSAN members are trained as chartered secretaries and administrators.
Who are chartered secretaries and administrators?
Chartered secretaries are high-ranking governance professionals with a broad base of skills, unique amongst other professions. They are trained in law, finance, accounting, administration, strategy development, and corporate governance. In today's world, chartered secretaries and administrators discharge a wide range of duties and responsibilities, including functioning as chairmen of companies, executive directors, non-executive directors, company secretaries, risk managers, compliance managers, board evaluators, and corporate governance evaluators.
That is interesting. How then do I become a chartered secretary and administrator?
Good. Go to the Institute's website, www.icsan.org. You can also visit the National Secretariat of ICSAN at Plot 6, Elephant Cement Way, Alausa, Ikeja, Lagos, to get full information on how to become members. ICSAN, the hub of governance professionals.